Yes, that too. All right, everybody, we're back in. There, itchy nose. So, you enjoy a kind of awkward tea time with the Emperor.
Well, especially more awkward for the people who can't even partake.
We're just kind of sitting there. You're kind of there, enjoying an awkward meal. Just kind of staring at each other a little bit. Nim is just like... Nim decides that he wants to partake, so he casts use magic on himself, and he enjoys it then.
Fair enough.
I want to wave at the octopus thing.
It's an octopus. It moves away from you every time you approach it. Like, kind of circling around the area.
My friend.
God.
Wintris, I'd leave that alone. It's a trained assassin murderer kind of thing.
I just wanted to say hi. I waved at it, that's all. I wasn't gonna mess with it.
Yeah. You know what? Let me cast some magic on you. There you go. Now you can move around. You can take off your mask. You should be fine. Enjoy some of these nice treats. Carrion, would you like to join us for the food?
I think I'm fine.
All right, then.
Thank you, Emperor, for such a gracious meal. I won't be looking at him, but I will say it.
Just call me Mihai. For now. We are in a non-formal situation. If we were being quite more formal, I would have had us all meet up at one of the military facilities.
Oh, thank you, Mihai, then.
Tell me, how did all of you meet Nim?
We were docked. We were on a boat together without Nim first, and we were in a port, and Nim was looking for passage. We had some openings on the ship, and he joined us.
And you ended up traveling with him?
He said we would be entertaining companions.
I personally don't stay in one area for very long. Neither does my friend here, Max.
Basically, he said that we would be his bodyguards, but then it ended up him just, like, protecting us, like, financially, and we doing nothing except following him around.
So we haven't really gotten in any fights on his behalf yet. But the day is young.
We've avoided some.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That beats wandering the world on my own or just with Max. There's more safety in numbers.
True that.
Oh, we tend to get into a lot more trouble now that we're all together.
Well,
I don't know if I'm in more trouble than I was.
I'd say, for me personally, this is on the lower end of amount of trouble I've gotten into with the group. So
But
this
we're
is
not
pretty good for me.
goblins.
That is true.
I think Max and I have been through much worse than what our group has.
Just a bit.
I mean, you are both horrible science experiments, so... no offense.
I could do without the horrible.
I mean, being a pile of bones is pretty horrible.
I still have feelings.
And
But they're hollow.
Your personality makes up for your form.
Since we're bringing it up, just so you know, Emperor, this isn't my natural form.
Shape change.
He likes to tell everyone that.
I mean, sometimes it is best to be honest with those that you're trying to be friendly with.
It's like every single time he goes, this isn't my natural form. This isn't my natural form. He said that so many times in the
I've
past few
only
weeks.
told a few people.
That's true.
You did tell O'Toole after knowing her for about 5 minutes.
He does look like my grandfather.
Yes. I can't help that.
You see Nim kind of look at you for a second, and then kind of look at her for a little minute, and shake his head and be like, "No, it couldn't be."
Could it be?
I just shrug and go, anything's possible.
Well, anyway, enough of possible strange lineage connections.
Hey, Max, stop dating my granddaughter.
Is she your granddaughter? Is she?
We have to go on Fantasy Mori.
God.
Fantasy merfolk Mori.
God almighty.
Gonna take it another step farther in this entire, rabbit hole of insanity that we're going down.
Fantasy Merfolk Mori to do a grand paternity test.
More, I'm a sheep changer, and that girl isn't my granddaughter.
God.
Oh, man.
But she could be because I don't know all my parts.
That's a very interesting way of saying it.
Yeah.
We'll chalk that up to Maxwell's bones and silver tongue, too. It's on the same wavelength. Anyway.
I'm just made of snips and snails and puppy dog tails.
and horrible facehuggers.
Oh.
Yes.
A few other things, but, you haven't discovered those yet.
That's ominous.
Yes. You're welcome. So, yeah, you'll have an enjoyable time here, and for those of you who are enjoying the food, it's not bad. It's unusual kind of cuisine, because, nothing is made in the same way that you would imagine it being made. Everything is, it's trying to both cook and prepare food under the sea. But they're, you get something that seems, what you think is akin to maybe a hardtack kind of bready thing, but you're not really sure how it's made or what it's made out of.
Interesting.
The inside is dry. It has a tough outer surface that keeps the water out while it is in the water, but it is unusual.
It's shellac.
Well, I mean, it's cooked in such a way to...
I was making a bad joke.
I mean, if you want to enjoy some shellac, we could probably get you some.
It's heavily glazed.
Sure. After a little while, though, the little finger meal will be done. The Emperor will have a short chat with Nim, just about some general things, seemingly about their last trip together. Regaling the tale about what had happened, what things have been up to.
Where did you put that pearl that I gave you? What do you mean you gave it to a dragon?
You don't want to know where I put it.
What do you mean you tried to fuck the dragon's daughter?
The classic.
We're never gonna let Nim live that down. You shouldn't have told us.
Nim will mention something very strange at one point in time. Like, he'll kind of regale, like, a tale of, like, kind of where he traveled to, and it'll be kind of, like, almost like a break in what he's talking about. Like, he's then like, then I traveled to a couple more unusual places, outside the normal purview of what's known in Dominaria. And then I came back and I visited Otaria for a while.
Outside the normal purview.
Is Nim a planeswalker?
Let me put it this way for people that don't know. Planeswalkers live like 3 or 4 times the age span of their normal races.
And he lives 3 or 4 times the age span of his normal race.
They also tend to be high level.
They also tend to attract a lot of danger around them.
I mean, this is very textbook for Nim, but you don't know for
Yeah.
sure.
Do they have a tendency of seducing dragon?
Planeswalking could just be a red herring.
It could just be Nim.
I think that's what we just had.
that might be true. I'm not going to argue with that. That might be true. Anyway, and he'll just say some tales about some interesting things he's been working on. Just some major, like, projects. Apparently there is plans on one of the islands of Rune Nora. One of the ports there says it's been under Vodalian control, which it does sound like the Emperor does not support the idea of controlling some ports, but regardless, like, his non-support of the fact that Vodalia has annexed some areas of land mean nothing. But he has been talking about the fact that they're trying to make the best of it, converting them to proper areas of meeting of surface races and Empire itself. He's actually planning, like, a mixed art exhibit in one of the major port cities that they've been doing in. Yes, I'm hoping that since that we don't have many places that illiterates art is put on display. Sorry, I'm slipping into Nim's accent when I'm trying to do the Emperor. Illiterates art is not on display in a lot of places, so I was hoping for some place where we could put it on. And a memory to an old friend of the Empire's that unfortunately we haven't been able to put up a proper memorial to. There's a simple one in Elanchis, but I feel like something a little better to Bolivar would be better. He was a man that fought during the apocalypse when much of our empire was destroyed by the Death Cloud. He helped save the bastions of our society, which helped rebuild us.
Definitely worthy of honor.
He sacrificed his life to do it. And I've always felt like if you folks are unaware, it was during that cloud that Galenia fell, our greatest empress. The line of succession was difficult for a little while there. A relative of hers took up the mound and helped us try to rebuild in the chaos after everything was done. With the help of those that Bolivar saved. The community he was able to rescue was the backbone of what was rebuilt. And, my ancestors In fact, another offshoot line from the Empress. Unfortunately, Omen, who helped rebuild us, was another one that is oftentimes not remembered greatly. Then again, he was eaten by a shark.
That's a bad day.
Nowadays, most of the great sharks in our land are tamed. But back in those days, unfortunately after everything happened done, a great number of them got loose and went back to being wild. Sharks, if you do not continue to look after them, can easily become wild again. They are, in nature, wild. Unlike some things like my octopi friend, the whales, and the leviathans, who tend to be actually much smarter than you surface dwellers put them up to be. You know, folks can actually have a conversation with Slim Voda. It's very difficult to have a conversation with a leviathan of his size. I say his, though. I don't actually think he has a gender. Hard to tell. Something so large and so ancient.
At least he
Indeed.
never gets lonely.
No. And it's something as big and ancient as him. It's fast to react, slow to think, if that's a great way of saying it.
He has a lot of
Understood.
time on his hands.
If you would have a conversation with him, it would be one that a normal person would be 10 minutes. With him, it might be 10 hours. But as soon as a threat arises, it reacts just as fast as any of us we do. It's an amazing thing about the beast. About the guardian of our empire. But regardless, though. So we'll be honoring Bolivar in the one city. And hopefully, maybe even put up a little something to Emperor Omen. That would be nice. I know, Nim, you knew of some of these folks, but you weren't around during the end of Dominaria, were you? No, and I don't think I ever met Mr. Lavar himself, personally. I knew of some folks that were his allies upon our land here. He was one of the more unusual folks that came to Dominaria's rescues. Heroes who had always been on the outskirts. Some that weren't intending to be heroes and just became them. I think Mr. Lavar was one of those. He didn't intend to be the hero. He just became one. Anyway. And you will complete your meal.
Lovely.
The Emperor will kind of look towards you at the end and be like, well, this has been a nice little thing here. I'm sure all of you will have your various businesses in town. You can head back to where you were, and I can send a messenger with my decision about the library. I feel like I probably will allow you in, but I would like to think about it more than just a quick thought. Give me at least until tomorrow. Maybe a little longer.
It is appreciated, your lordship.
We appreciate your time.
Excellent. Well, I have other business to attend to while I am here, since I am visiting. There are many things to do, people to see, business to attend to. So, what are you doing?
Good day.
Are you just like leaving then?
Yeah, I mean,
I guess.
I'm going to quietly say, have a good week.
Aww.
I'm not going to linger in the king's presence.
Yeah, no.
Mm-hmm.
I say sorry about earlier to the king as I take my leave.
Okay. Indeed.
As I walk out, I continue to wave to the octopus.
Lindsay.
I mean, it will just be there.
Are you going to look for the octopus's garden?
In the sea.
Yes.
Bye, octopus friend.
Probably wants to murder you.
Everything wants to murder Wintress. What are you talking to?
I don't want to murder Wintress.
One day you will.
I mean, one of my personalities might. I don't know, but
It might be the merfolk one.
it might. It might not.
The world may never know.
I may never know.
So you can head back to, unless there's anything else you want to do, you can head back to where you came from.
No, I can't
I'm
think
gonna
of
brag to
anything.
Carrie about how well that went and how she was. I'm glad she went because nothing terrible happened, and I told her that nothing terrible would happen.
What a relief.
So I'm glad I'm happy at being right for once.
So, Nim, do you have any other business down here?
Personally, no. I mean, the fact is that, I was just pretty much coming along for the ride with you folks more than anything, and it seemed fun.
Well, looks like we have some time on our hands to kill. Maybe we could talk to your one friend and see if he needs any of us to accompany with him with any other business dealings.
Wait, what friend?
Not your friend, just the
Well,
other dignitary.
The other dignitary.
We could talk with your friend.
The man from Orvada? I wouldn't recommend getting any more deals with him.
Something wrong with him?
Not directly, and I didn't want to bring it up because, I mean, you're all very adults, but I probably should at least say. The fact is that most dignitaries from Orvada are business folks, meaning that no matter how much you're being paid, I'm assuming that whatever he's doing will earn him more.
Well, normally I think that's how it works when you get hired by someone. They're
Also, I'm
going to make
fairly
more.
certain if anybody was to get caught, and if something was not as per se above board, I'm sure that it would be you who would be in trouble and not him.
What if, and just hear me out here, we rob him blind?
I don't think he has all his money with him here.
Oh, there's some money.
True, but also,
He's a dignitary and there's city guards. Heavily amount of city guards.
Yeah, that's true. I forgot this is a military city, essentially.
Yes. As fun as that might be,
Well-
especially just having a meeting with the Emperor.
So, we know he's here, which means his house is empty back in Orvada.
Well, we can't leave.
It's true. But for future reference.
But he might not be
Tiny
here when
Red
in the
man,
future.
stop this insanity.
Could be fun, so I'm saying.
Are we going back to Arvada for long? I don't even know where we're going next. Do we know?
Most likely the library.
Well, I mean, after, the sea parts.
Nim has some ideas. He said he was going to figure that out first.
once we have visited the library here and Tolaria Under the Sea, I believe we were discussing possibly heading for Lanoir briefly before going to Benalia, where I believe we are planning to part ways at that point in time.
Well, that's almost home, so that's nice.
I mean, if you wanted to, the mountains of the area there would be very easy to reach. We could visit your home.
Yeah, it's like literally next door.
Yes, it's just we'd have to travel directly north for a little bit, and then head west, rather than heading directly west. It's not completely out of the way. We could visit the area of Arona that you come from.
I could let Carrie meet my dad, and that would be so wonderful. I'm sure they'll be friends.
I believe, Carrion, you've got your family in the area too, right?
Yes, we're heading that way. Perhaps I can stop by. It's been a long time.
So perhaps that's a good thing to do, to visit your families while we're there.
Yeah, it would cut down on what I need to do.
Oh, and then we can laugh at Claude and Max because they don't have families, and that's sad.
I've had a family.
I've also had a family. I come from royalty.
Interesting.
Not now, you don't.
Hey, Winterus,
I'm very
this is a
certain.
little
That's a little above what we should.
I'm also
really
fairly
do.
certain that Claude has had like a dozen families.
That's probably
Yes.
more like
It's very
100,
possible
maybe.
that our companion is his granddaughter.
But like he's ugly and she isn't.
Thank you.
So I don't know how that.
Wow.
You're welcome. You're very pretty, Yatula. Don't let anyone say anything else besides that, okay?
Beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
There's a beholder?
Yes, look into his eye.
oh, beans.
Look right
Oh, I
into
got
the
this floor
central
will be
eye.
perfectly flat. Oh.
I'm pretty sure at least Carrie would know not to. She has brains. Specifically 2 of them.
And then
It's
massage its eye stalks carefully.
Gross.
Gross. We'll leave that to Nim.
Has anyone actually ever slept? Can you sleep with a beholder?
No.
No.
They
don't
reproduce
have-
through
they
dreams.
reproduce, through dreaming. They don't have sexes.
Oh God, that's different
Like-
than second edition.
But could you? though?
Uh-oh.
Yeah, second edition, they actually do have reproductive organs according to the Eye Tyrant book. That in the back of their mouths they have it, and they can do something kind of with like normally they do like a self-insemination kind of thing, though they can go along with other beholders if they should find like if an infatuation of like another beholder is close enough to them, sometimes they can get along long enough for things to occur, and it involves tongues.
In later editions, I think since third, it's
No, they didn't
The
talk about it at all
octopus
in third.
reproduced through board?
No, I said in later editions, I believe started in third, they dream themselves into existence.
I think that's just 5th edition talks about that, actually. 4th and 3rd didn't talk. 3rd edition didn't talk about it at all. Nah.
Well, now they dream. Now they have dreams, and it creates a beholder.
Like, do they
Lovely.
dream of sex? What do they dream of? Do they dream of sex?
It
They
dep-
dream
no,
of
it-
another beholder.
No, it depends on like what their dream is. Depends on what kind of beholder comes out.
Gross.
So
Yeah.
if they dream of like a lot of blood,
Do
there's like a blood
beholders dream of
beholder.
electric beholders?
Why does it talk about them coming into existence from dreams? God damn it.
In the, if not in the monster manual, then in Volo's Guide to Monsters, they have a whole
Volo's
section. On
Guide.
the
Yeah, it's not the Monster Manual, it's Volo's Guide, probably. That's a... 5th edition tries for some weird stuff sometimes. I understand it, but it's also weird.
It's still better than second edition claiming that Dragonborn are mammals.
I
What,
don't remember that. That's great.
I'm not surprised that Fish knows that.
Anyway, so... where were we before Beholders?
I don't remember.
We're heading back to the hotel.
Yeah.
Wintress is laughing at their lack of families.
Yep, there we go.
Winters, you do also know that like the majority of my family is dead as well.
Yeah, but they ate each other.
That's not. That doesn't make it better.
We need to have
Don't
another
humor
talk on-
Wintress, Kazran. She doesn't seem to be very sensitive of familial values aside from her own.
Guess not. Wow. All right.
Especially given that she
It's
told
just, I know it hurts and I'm sorry, but like, sometimes it's just funny.
It's
Wintress,
really
we have to have
not.
another
It's
talk about
really
sensitivity.
No.
Why don't you try living with near immortality, Wintress, and seeing all your loved ones fall before you? It's heartbreaking.
Maybe I don't want to. Maybe I just want to die.
Well, maybe some people don't have that choice.
I can kill you right now.
I don't think it'll take. I think that's what has been that's what we've been discussing. You know, we got 2 party members that are apparently seeking death or re-life. Re-life? I don't know the term.
Real life.
I'll take death or just the voices out of my head.
I mean, death would take the
How
voices
many
out of your
voices
head.
are you
wouldn't have
to?
a head.
Right
you
now,
don't
Claude.
want to know.
I thought so.
Way too many.
Yeah. Now that's unfortunate, actually.
Anyway, in other words, Wintress, stop bringing up families. Usually a go-to thing. Don't bring up families.
Yeah, you're right. You're usually right.
I am the brains of this operation.
What am I?
I'm talking about between me and Wintress.
Oh yeah, no, it's true.
I'm the brains
You're
and the
the-
brawn. She's just the anger.
She's the hooker.
I am angry
I mean-
a lot of the times. Look at all those oh, sorry. Kaz, you're the gunpowder to our bronze and steel.
So he makes things explode?
I do. I can.
That's kind of
Not-
Kazran's job.
Actually, right now, not really. We are underwater. It's very difficult for me to make explosions underwater.
You can make
I'm sure
compression
you can
waves.
It's not impossible. I can probably do it.
Please don't
Those
explode
Make,
things
like
underwater.
underwater fire.
How about
I'm
compression?
not going to. I'm not going to blow anything up. I have better control over explosions than I did when I was younger. It'll be fine. Nothing will
Wintress
explode.
still young.
I'm 17.
He's like middle-aged goblin.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Goblins are different.
They age fast. I'm essentially like mid to late 30s.
Yeah.
That's very interesting. Well, oh look, we've returned back where we needed to be.
Oh, how the time flies, Radiant.
Yeah, I know. That was very nice. I didn't really feel like trying some weird fishy things. I don't mean to be rude. Oh no, it's fine. I can understand that. That stuff was really nice, but it's on the expensive side, and I wouldn't have gotten for it anyway. Oh, okay. This is weird because it's like slightly different accents for 2 women that I have very similar accents to. Anyway.
I'm glad it too. Radiant's
I'm gonna take my leave for now, but maybe I'll visit another day. And I'll definitely stop by when we can figure out what's going on with the library.
Thank you.
Bye-bye, Atula.
Boy, boy. Okay, she'll head off.
You're not going to escort the lady out?
He's just
Well, she's kind of separating from you at, like, the entrance to the place
okay.
rather than before you go inside.
Okay, then that's fine.
So that she doesn't have to flop around on the floors for a long time.
Yeah. Probably for the best. Maybe it's Tome of Foes.
No, it's definitely because there's an entire chapter on beholders in the Volo's Guide.
Oh, that's why.
It's in Volo's guide. I found it.
What page?
It's literally on page 5 or 6, I think.
Ah.
Yeah, it's on page 6, Birth of a Beholder.
Huh, I'll
We
read
can
it.
really have a whole section on it.
That's weird. I'll have to read into it. But anyway, I think I was going to have us take our second break as you arrive back here, because it's a good time to, and then be right there for the last bit. And I could look into this on the break, because I'm curious as to what they changed here. So, if you need to use the restroom, grab a drink, grab a snack, go ahead and do that. And we'll continue with them probably getting their library adventures. Or not library adventures, because, okay, they're probably going to go to the library. Come on, you know what's going to happen.
We're gonna get a library card.
Uh-huh. But we'll probably do that next time, and leave into then the time after that, traveling to a college. Again. Going back to college. Again.
Back to
Student debt! Yay!
School's out for
I don't think I can afford a loan this time, Carrie.
Oh, God.
Too real. Too real. Anyway.
Yes.
See you shortly, folks.